Just getting warmed up, getting everything set to go here. Bear with me 1 second while we get Zwift up and running. That's working. Let's get our workout set. Okay. So, welcome to Pedal Pros. My name is Brent. I hope the audio is okay. We've got a new streaming setup here. That's mostly the goal tonight. In the past, we've done some live online racing, and we didn't want to do that tonight, mostly because I'm out of shape. And I probably need another 2 weeks before I get back at that. If you're new to the stream, cool. I really don't think many people are going to watch this. Actually, you know what? Let me go post the link for my buddy here real quick. We'll start to work it over. Sorry about that. Just had to update the link. Like I said, I don't think anybody's really going to be watching this, so it doesn't matter much. We're doing a Zwift workout tonight, 3x1s. It's going to be rough, just because I'm quite a bit out of shape, and I think these power numbers are based on an older FTP. I really need to do another FTP test so that I have some updated numbers, but we're going to go through the workout. You can kind of see it directly above me up here at the top left of the Zwift screen, what we're going to go through. We're just doing a nice 10-minute warm-up here, and then we're going to go into 8 intervals where we're going to go 3 minutes at, I think it's 250 watts, and then we get a 1-minute break, and then we repeat that 3 minutes on, 1 minute off 8 different times. Then we do a 5-minute block at 225, and then we cool down. And this is a workout that my coach prescribed for me. That's just a Tuesday workout. Normally I would be doing this workout in the morning on the trainer in the garage, but I wanted to set the stream up, see how everything works, check the video quality, check the audio quality, make sure everything's good. So, like I said, if you're watching this, thank you. That's awesome. I don't know why you would be. Maybe you're watching the Democratic debates tonight because you like 10 or 12 people trying to get 30 seconds each to talk, or I don't know, it's raining outside, maybe you went to see a movie. Tell you the truth, I don't know why you would watch somebody doing a workout on a bike. It's not a race. I don't even know that I would watch a pro workout, but there's just, for me, I needed to get back to producing content. I really enjoy a lot of the YouTube content out there that's cycling related or just from cyclists. And my favorite YouTuber doesn't do YouTube anymore. Chris McGrew used to do a channel called Cyclelog. He was a local Houston guy, and lots of his videos were bike stuff or revolving around his and his wife's life as cycling took them to do things or experience things. And they were really, really good videos. I've told him before on Instagram that I miss his channel, but he just got burned out doing it because it's a lot of work. You know, I make videos that aren't very good. He made videos that were really good. And so it's just a ton of work to do that. And his channel's gone now. There's several other channels that are really good that are cycling related. Vegan Cyclist is a really popular channel. His skill with After Effects and stuff like that and the overlays he does on his videos are awesome. He's a neat personality. Some of his racing info and science is a little questionable that he does to test things, but he's an entertaining watch, even though I think he uses the same beats for all of his videos, and they can stretch long sometimes. I say that as I'm going to do a live stream for an hour tonight. But NorCal cycling videos, if you want to learn how to race, it's basically just GoPro footage from crit races mostly and some road races, but excellent instructional material. That's kind of all it is. Phil's got his worst retirement ever stuff that's kind of good content. There's not really anything local anymore. Chris Tolley does some stuff with the Driveway series, but that's just GoPro footage and is mostly humorous and or for people who are familiar with the Driveway. So I don't know. I just feel like there's not the sort of stuff that I like to watch and I like to make doesn't really exist, and I feel like I kind of let the ball drop on that. And so setting up this stream again is how we're gonna do that. But yeah, there's gonna be some videos coming up that aren't just live streaming. We will start streaming the races again because there's more entertainment value in that. But if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. I got the tablet right down here, and so I can see anything. It'll be like a 3 or 4 second delay before I see it probably. But other than that, just gonna roll through the workout, make sure our audio's working, make sure the video's working, and set this up for future events that'll be a little bit better than doing a workout. Next week, I'm going to do a live stream Tuesday nights. I'm going to do my live streams on Tuesday nights, and I'm going to produce original non-stream content in addition to that. But Tuesday nights we'll do streaming. Next Tuesday night, I won't be broadcasting a workout live, but I'm going to go through the process of, because a lot of the racing doesn't appeal to everyone unless it just has the entertainment value. A lot of people who ride bikes, most people who ride bikes aren't interested in racing. And so I think Zwift is an amazing tool, even if you're not a racer, just for fitness and enjoyment. Now I know some people think enjoyment and trainer don't make any sense together, but the truth is, if you're gonna ride a trainer because you're stuck indoors anyways, Zwift is one of those things that makes it better. It doesn't necessarily make it great. I think it's very good. Doesn't necessarily make it great, but it makes it better. And so I'm going to show you next week how to create workouts, how to sign up for group rides or events or races, and kind of walk through that on the live stream. That way I've done, and there's lots of videos on how to do all that. Shane's GP Llama, his channel on YouTube is probably the best there is for how-to stuff on Zwift. But if you actually want somebody who knows almost as much about Zwift to answer your questions live, I'll definitely be able to respond if you want to know how to do something or how something works or what do I think about the value of it or so on and so forth, compared to other, I guess you would call training software suites. Things like, because there are differences between things like what we're doing tonight here, which is Zwift, or things like Trainer Road or things like that. And I've used those too. And so it's just an opportunity to hang out and answer some questions, go through that over at the desk instead of over here while I'm hurting myself on the bike. And then the following week, so that's Tuesday, August 6th, which is next week, that's when we're going to be doing the sort of Q&A, how to use Zwift, how to create custom workouts, how to get into events. And then the following week, Tuesday the 13th of August, I believe, we're going to try and do live streamed racing again. I'm really out of shape. I haven't really ridden at all. I had to update my weight on Zwift and Strava and Training Peaks today. My race weight was 150. We're getting very close to 160 right now. So racing is definitely I'm probably gonna start back in C category instead of B, which is where I was. We'll see how it goes from there. But that's kind of the next 3 weeks of streaming. I'd like to get back in the habit. Again, if you watch this, I'd be shocked. This is mostly for me. But if you are watching this and you have some suggestions or some ideas or thoughts about what would be cool to stream, let me know. Because I kind of like the idea of doing it. You know, it's like a video podcast to me. There's just more you can do with it. It's not as convenient. It's not as packageable. You know, you can't watch this on your way to work like you can listen to a podcast or something. But the ability to do, oh boy, here's an interval, long form content is an option. And while I don't expect this channel to ever have dozens of live viewers, I still enjoy doing this. And I still have ideas for what I want to do. But if you're here because you like this sort of thing, you know, this is your chance to maybe help me make it better. Whew. 8 of these, huh? I don't even know what course I chose. We're here in the simulated, futuristic Central Park of Zwift's future New York. If you're new to Zwift, up at the top, you can see the speed my rider is doing in the top left blue numbers in miles per hour. How many miles we've gone is immediately to the right of that. Total elevation gained is to the right of that. Elapsed time is to the right of that. That orangish box below that is my current Zwift account level in progress, and that level 35, I think it is. It's hard to read the screen from this far away. And the bubble, bluish bubble to the right of that, it's at the 450,000. That's like an in-game currency reward system. It's really meaningless. the block where it says hold 250W for 3 minutes. That's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. 250 watts of power. That's how much force you're exerting on the pedals. If you're not familiar with that, the big number in the bottom middle is my current power. Then you see my heart rate to the right of that, and then below that, which seems really slow to be accurate, is my cadence in the mid to low 70s. That just doesn't seem right. Up at the top left, you can see the program for the workout or the agenda. We'll finish in exactly 39 minutes. That gate we just passed through symbolizes the end of a 3-minute block. Now we're on our 1-minute rest, down to 145 watts. We do this for a minute, and then that is the first of the 8 3-minute intervals, 3x1s, which you can see is what I've named this workout up at the top left. At the bottom, you can see that little, I don't know what, seismograph looking thing. I'm probably using the wrong term there, but that represents the current effort or power output compared to my maximum zone. Gray, super easy. Blue, zone 2. Green, zone 3. Yellow, zone 4. And orange or red means I'm really busting my butt. So you can see that these 3-minute shots are basically kind of right at the edge of zone 4, zone 5 for me. I think Zwift currently believes my functional power is 247. It's not that. I'm really weak right now. Not that 247 was strong. That's lower than what it should have been too. That's what it was the last time I tested. I haven't done much of anything in the last 3 months. So here we are, kind of pushing the edge of what was our threshold the last time we measured it. So far I'm okay, but we're only 12% of the way through this. 13%, whatever. 1/8. Again, if you're tuning in and watching this, you're probably the only person, which is cool. But if you have any questions or don't know what's going on, pop something in the chat. I will definitely respond verbally, not by typing. Some other stuff in Zwift, if you look up at the top right, it's kind of a preview of what's coming. You see the 0%, 1%, 2%. That's the incline or gradient. Right now the resistance is simulating a 2% climb, 2% climb, 1% gradient uphill. You can kind of see the road map in that large rectangle. And then at the bottom of that, kind of overlaid, is the elevation profile of this segment writ large. And the little orange dot traversing it represents yours truly and my current position on it. Alright. So far, so good. It would be unfortunate if my first live stream back, first video in months, was me failing the workout on the second interval. The good news is, I'm pretty sure my coach never watches these or any of the videos I make. So maybe we'll do a WWE and I'll like tag my wife and she can jump on. And my profile, when I upload it later, will still look like I finished the workout. I don't know. Let's see if the audio's working. Okay, yeah. Oh, wasn't paying attention. Got caught out by the start of that interval. Technology, man. It's so much easier when you just ride. That's kind of why eventually I hope I make content that's good enough and engaging enough that I'll actually have people watching and interacting, because it's so much easier to do this when you feel like you're beholden to something other than yourself. Like when no one's watching and you get tired, you know, it takes a lot of mental toughness to not quit. When you know that 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people would see you quit, or that are just hoping that you do well and you don't want to let them down. It's not the primary motivation, nor should it be, but man, it does help. Just like when you're on a group ride. It's always easier to ride with friends than ride by yourself. And that's not even considering the drafting, right? That's just the psychological part of it. So yeah, I know this is not going to be an exciting video, but it is going to be helpful to me, even if I'm the only one who watches it. Plus, as this starts to hurt, and I complain and whine, it feels therapeutic, as opposed to just being inside my own head. Just kidding. Alright. Throat's definitely drier than it would be with all this talking normally. But I think I am, because I'm focusing on talking through what's happening or about what's going on, that it doesn't suck quite as bad. Or perhaps I'm not as acutely aware of it. All right. Okay. That's 3 of 8. This is going to be brutal. Wow. Okay. You can see we're on a simulated 7% gradient, but because I'm in workout mode and the trainer doesn't call it an erg mode, it doesn't matter. It's fixed the resistance at 145 watts until I hit this gate, of course. And now we're back to 250, But the difficulty of the gradient, both the difficulty of the uphill and the benefit of the downhill in workout mode, is insignificant. Because this has me locked in to a set 250 watts of resistance, regardless of whether I'm on a 15% uphill gradient like I am now, which would be murder otherwise. It just adjusts my speed accordingly. So at my weight and this power of about 250 watts, I climb that at 5 to 7 miles an hour. Whereas when I hit a downhill, if we weren't in workout mode, the trainer would simulate less resistance on the downhill, but in workout mode, the downhills that you see on the screen don't get easier. They just stay at a fixed resistance of 250 watts of force. So I have to put out the same effort in these blocks, whether I'm uphill, downhill, or flat, which is one of the benefits of doing structured workouts on a trainer, is that you are guaranteed to do your targets uninterrupted. You don't get interrupted by terrain. You know, if you hit a punchy hill, you're not having to click through your gears and are trying real hard to stay close to that target power. You don't deal with stoplights, stop signs, traffic. I'm at 250 watts for 3 minutes, regardless of terrain, regardless of traffic or weather or physical discomfort. You can see we're sort of going over this mythical sky bridge thing in this futuristic rendition of New York City here, which would probably be more unpleasant outside of erg mode right now. Oh, this bike is not sounding good. Okay, that is 4 of the 8 3-minute efforts done. We'll cruise along for our 1-minute rest block here. It's getting harder for me to speak uninterrupted with my breathing. Again, you can see that yellow semicircle gate up ahead. That represents where my rider will be when this 1-minute rest block ends and the next interval at that effort level, that color representing somewhere, in my case, at the top end of zone 4 for the next portion. And if you're not familiar with Zwift at all, I probably should have covered this at the outset, but again, I didn't really expect anyone to be watching this. What Zwift does is it takes your real world biometric data. I'm wearing a heart rate strap under this, which is relaying my heart rate to the game. That doesn't actually affect performance, but it's a useful metric to track. Cadence is being recorded from the cadence meter on the pedals of my bike, shows up in the game, and is representative of how fast I'm spinning the pedals. The power meter relays the force that I'm putting onto the pedals and transfers it into the app. And that, coupled with my weight and the dynamics for the course here, determine how fast my virtual avatar is moving within the app. And as you see other riders on there, the same is true for other riders all over the world. You can see their country's flags to the right of their names on the board on the right. We're all participating in this game simultaneously, but it's a game that isn't based on hand-eye coordination or things that you typically associate with video games. It's based on real-world fitness and effort, which is very cool, I think. Also, if you look at those, again, if you're new to Zwift, my name is kind of in the middle of those names on the far right. B. Neal NWCC, it's highlighted. B. Neal being me, and WCC I put on there as my club. It's Northwest Cycling Club. But you can see the little, looks like cellular bars on the left side. That indicates that I'm doing a structured workout. You can see a few other riders with that. Riders who don't have that are just free riding. They're just riding the course in the way you would ride a bike outside if you just decided to go see the neighborhood or the countryside. Their effort up a hill or down a hill, or they can coast downhill if they want. It's just like riding a bike in real life. There's a little cell phone icon next to some people, which indicates they're using the mobile version of the Zwift app. And then you see a time for everyone but me. Rest interval, 5 of 8 done. That represents approximately how far ahead or behind me they are time-wise. The guy in front of me is 7 seconds up the road, give or take. The next closest person on this route behind me is now 30 some odd seconds behind, other than those two that just merged with us. Then you see a usually single digit. Right now I'm at 2.1, 2.2 watts a kilogram. That is my power to weight ratio. It's how much power I'm putting out compared to how much I weigh in kilograms. The higher the number, the more power you're putting out. And then to the right of that is how many miles I have completed so far. You also see that up at the top, at the 9.1, but I can see how many miles everyone else riding has done. All right, interval 6 of 10. Don't crack. My bottom bracket on this trainer bike just sounds awful. I hope the audio is clean enough to be understood. It's one of the things I want to check. I have a fan blowing on me, which means it's also blowing on the microphone. You have the noise of the trainer. It's a wheel-on trainer. You have my bottom bracket creaking, even though I just had the bike serviced. And it's a lot of background stuff to deal with. Hopefully, the audio is clean enough so as not to be distracting. Whew. All right, halfway done with this one. I feel like I set the resolution on the camera too low. I look kind of pixelated there, at least on the tablet. So 1 minute to go in interval 6 of 8 in the 3x1 block. You can see that after that, I still have a 5-minute block waiting for me. But we don't worry about that till we get there. My cadence just seems super low. All right. 75% done with the hard 3-minute blocks. We have a total of 18 minutes of effort done. 6 minutes, or I'm sorry, 3 minutes times 6 that we've done. So 18 minutes done, 11 minutes to go. 2 more 3x1 blocks, and then that 5-minute block waiting for us at the end. I don't drink out of a bottle when I'm on the trainer. I prefer the Arctic Cup because bottles are hard to clean. All right. Two more of these bad boys. I feel like I could probably be competitive in a C category race. Definitely not in a B category right now, though. We'll work our way back. We'll get there. But not tonight. We've almost done 1,000 feet of climbing so far in 35 minutes, which is pretty good. You can see despite some of these fast stretches on these downhills that we're still averaging quite a bit under 20 miles an hour due to all that elevation. Normally I work this hard, I have a pretty easy 20 plus mile an hour average. Not tonight, boys. "45 seconds left on this interval. Well, for sure, I think getting through all the 3x1s. Because once we hit that blue gate, we've only got one to go. One more 3-minute shot, and then a 5-minute shot. You've got a good chance of surviving. So I get the 1 minute rest here, now down to half a minute. And then after the next 3 minutes, I still only get 1 minute going into the 5-minute shot, even though the 5 minutes is a lower power target at 225 instead of 250. It's more of a psychological thing than a physical thing. You gotta make yourself believe that you can do it, because mentally you see that 5 minutes is longer than 3. Your mind wants to tell you that it's harder or that you're more tired. And the real trick is, when it is harder and you are more tired, make yourself believe that you're not. Alright. Closing in on 40 minutes done. About 13 minutes to go. Overall total, 2 minutes left in this block, which I am confident now that we will complete, which is good. Very nervous about that going into this, but I was basically going to be making a short and boring documentary about me failing a workout. Instead, I just made a short and boring documentary about much of nothing. Whew. Halfway done with this one. I know it's weird because I don't look at the camera much, but my monitor is over there with Zwift on it. The tablet is down here. So, looking at the camera is actually the least useful and informative place for me to direct my eyes. A minute to go. Oh, our cadence is awful. We're just mashing. We should be at 85 to 95. What's weird though is my trainer cadence is always much lower than it is on the road. Always. Doesn't matter if it's a hard workout or zone 1. Ever since I started using the trainer, I've had bad cadence on the trainer. But when I'm in the middle of real effort on a road course, my cadence is 90 to 100, always. Probably drops out to average somewhere between 80 and 85. So all the times you're spinning down or coasting or whatever. But when I'm actually moving the pedals on the road, it's much higher. All right, 20 seconds. Then our last effort for the evening, 5 minutes at a steady 225. Let's do this. You'll notice it's definitely become harder for me to talk as we go. It's just part of being out of shape and being tired combined. I feel very good about the workout so far. I'll have to go back and watch the video and see if the production quality was okay or not, though. Oh boy. If we were in a structured workout, I'd just sit on this guy's wheel. He's in a structured workout too. $340 to go. So far, so good. All right. Now, the way we frame it is we've just got one more 3-minute block to go, but it's easier. It's less effort than every other 3-minute block we've done. At least that's what I do right there at that moment mentally, instead of thinking about coming up on having done 3 minutes and still have 2 to go. I just think, okay, now we've got an easier 3 remaining. I don't know if other people do those sorts of things in their head when they ride or work out, but for some reason I do. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. 2 minutes to go. We've got this. There's no way we're failing it at this point. Seconds. Just want to finish it out. Ride smooth into the cool down block. You can kind of see the stars over there next to the agenda on the top left. That means that for the most part, I hit the target for prescribed powers and durations on those blocks. If I had to turn the power down or turn erg mode off and coast or rest or ride easy, I might get half a star or no stars. I don't know what the stars do. Maybe they give you bonus XP in game? I don't know. I guess they're sort of a, or at least I treat them as nothing more than a virtual pat on the back. All right. Hard stuff done. Now we're in a cool down. And just like the warm-up at the start, kind of gradually ramped up over the next 5 minutes. You can see the power required gradually ramp down. I think it started at 185 or 184. It's down to 179. It's going to drop again, 173. And it will just continue to gradually lower so that we have a progressive cool down. 5 minutes is pretty short for a cool down, but I usually spin easy for a little bit longer, even after the trainer workout's done. One, just because normally when I'm on the trainer, I'm inside right now. I move everything inside to stream. Normally my trainer workouts are in the garage. I'm living in Tomball, Texas, and it being July, almost August, a garage that is not climate controlled, it's pretty rough. But more than that, because of the humidity, when you finish working out, it just takes a long time to stop sweating. And so a lot of times I will just spin way down in the garage where I'm really not even putting any power on the pedals, just kind of moving my legs and sitting in the fan for a while. But here indoors, where it is climate controlled and far less humid, 5 minutes will be pretty close to sufficient. So obviously the workout went well. I'll go back and see what the quality of the stream was, and then maybe as I go forward and continue to produce live streams, the production quality will get better also, but more than that, the content will become more relevant and more engaging, even if it is physically more demanding. But that was good. It was good to see that I can get the stream set up and running again. I will be doing races again, hopefully in 2 weeks. That's what we're shooting for. We got to find a Tuesday night event. It starts around 8 Central. That's when my son goes to bed, so I have to give away some of that time with him just to prepare this. I'll probably make a video at some point of what it actually takes to set up this stream. You know, some people have kind of a permanent studio for that sort of thing. I definitely don't. And it's not a small undertaking for me to get this set up the way I want it. And so part of the trade-offs in doing something that I need to do to feel good, which is riding my bike and creating, is I have to, one of the trades is I have to give up a little bit of time in the evening with my son, and the time I spend putting him to bed and right before bed with my wife and with him is one of my favorite times of the entire day. It's when my son really is, he's always wonderful, but he's just so sweet when he goes to bed, and to see him love on me and my wife, and to watch her, you know, as a mom and all of that, that's just, it's a hard thing to give up. That's why I don't want to, you know, stream at 7 o'clock where I have to give up all of that. I still get some time with them in the evenings this way. But anyways, that's a tangent. So we will start at about 8 o'clock going forward. Even when we start doing races, we're going to shoot for approximately 8 o'clock. Some of the other stuff, like this, has a little more flexibility. I can start a workout whenever I want. Can't start the races whenever I want. I have to start when they start. So anyways, I don't think anyone tuned in tonight, but if you watch this later, thanks for doing so. I actually enjoyed putting this together. This is going to be helpful for me. Whew, you can see we're done with the workout. That representation there on the screen is a lot of the data from the workout that's going to get uploaded to the various places where I keep all my ride information. But that kind of does it for me. I have to hop off the bike and walk over to the desktop computer and turn it off because I don't have a Stream Deck or anything like that. So again, if you do watch this in the future, or if you tuned in for a little bit tonight, whenever, thank you for doing so. And just as a reminder to myself, make sure you especially check the audio during the hard parts of the intervals, just to check versus the bike noise, and then compare it to this point right here at the very end when the bike actually isn't making any noise, to see how much of a distraction that is, or if we need to run any sort of diffusion. All right, thanks. That's it, guys.